guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a few deeply disturbing and tragic cases. The story of Elliot Rodger.
Elliot Rodger here. Elliot Rodger here. Elliot Rodger here.
This is a story that highlights the dangers of unchecked mental illness, entitlement, and the consequences of violent fantasies. So let's get into it. Elliot Rodger was a 22-year-old man who committed a series of heinous acts on May 23, 2014 in Isla Vista, California. Before we get into what happened on the fateful day, let's take a closer look at who Elliot Rodger was and what led up to these events.
Hey, Elliot Rodger here. I'm up in the hills in Montecito right now, and it's truly a beautiful day. But, as I've always said, a beautiful environment is the darkest hell if you have to experience it all alone. And sadly, I've been alone for a very long time. And my problem is girls. I don't know why you girls are so repulsed by me. I dress nice. I'm sophisticated. I'm magnificent. I have a nice car, a BMW. I'm polite. I'm the ultimate gentleman. Look at how fabulous I look. And yet, you girls, you never give me a chance. And that's just such an injustice because I'm so magnificent. I deserve girls much more than all those slobs I see at my college who are somehow able to walk around with beautiful girls. I mean, look at me. I'm gorgeous. But you girls don't see it. I should be the one with the girls. But you never give me a chance. It's such an injustice. I don't know why you girls hate me so much. I've always wished I could ask you this, and this is my way of asking you this. This is the only way I can ask you.
Rodger was born in London and moved to the United States with his family when he was young. He grew up in a privileged environment, his father being a filmmaker. Despite his seemingly charmed life, Rodger struggled socially and emotionally. He documented his feelings of isolation, rejection, and anger in his diary and online forums, painting a picture of someone who felt deeply wronged by the world. Rodger became obsessed with his inability to attract women, which he saw as a personal affront. This obsession grew over time, fueling a sense of entitlement and resentment towards those who deemed as having wronged him, particularly men and women who were successful in dating. In the years leading up to his attack, Rodger posted numerous YouTube videos and online manifestos, expressing his anger and outlining his plans for what he called Day of Retribution.
Hi, Elliot Rodger here. Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity. Against all of you. I'm 22 years old, and I'm still a virgin. And it has been very torturous. It's not fair. You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me. But I will punish you all for it. I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy, and yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men, instead of me, the supreme gentleman. I will punish all of you for it. You will finally see that I am, in truth, the superior one, the true alpha male. Yes. Well, now, I will be a god compared to you. You will all be animals. You denied me a happy life. And in turn, I will deny all of you life. It's only fair. I hate all of you. I've waited a long time for this. I can't wait to give you exactly what you deserve. Utter annihilation.
These materials show a man who is deeply disturbed and fixated on revenge. On May 23, 2014, Roger carried out his plan. He began by stabbing his 3 roommates to death in his apartment. This alone is horrifying and highlights how deeply disturbed he was. He then drove to a sorority house at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where he opened fire, killing 2 women and injuring a 3rd. This act of violence against women he had never even met shows just how misplaced and irrational his anger was. But he didn't stop there. Roger then continued his rampage through Isla Vista, shooting people from his car and even hitting pedestrians with his vehicle. By the end of his spree, he had killed 6 people and injured 14 others before taking his own life. What's particularly chilling about Roger is how he meticulously planned his attack and documented his thoughts. He left behind a 137-page manifesto and numerous videos where he expressed his hatred and his twisted justifications for his actions.
Elliot Roger here. I'm just sitting in my car right now after watching that beautiful sunset descend beyond that hill up there. Enjoying a nice vanilla latte. I've been doing a lot of thinking about how sad and unfair my life has been. All because girls haven't been attracted to me. I've had to rot in bleak and sad loneliness. I mean, you give a chance to all these stupid, obnoxious guys that I see you walking with, but you don't give a chance to me. Why not? I'm such a magnificent guy. I'm beautiful. You can't deny that. I'm civilized, intelligent, sophisticated. I have a sense of style. And yet you girls don't see it. It's not fair. I deserve them more. I don't understand you girls. It's like your sexual attraction is flawed. It's perverted. This world, it's so twisted.
Now I have to say Elliot Roger is a prime example of a gross, twisted individual who let his sense of entitlement and resentment drive him to unspeakable acts. It's infuriating to see how someone could become so consumed by their own self-pity and hatred that they could take innocent lives. His actions were nothing short of cowardly and disgusting. It's important to note that his views were extreme and not representative of typical struggles that many young people face. Instead of seeking help or trying to change his circumstances in a healthy way, Roger chose to blame others and lash out violently. This case also brings up important discussions about mental health and the warning signs that were missed. Roger's family and some acquaintances were aware of his struggles, but the severity of his intentions was tragically underestimated. It's a stark reminder of the importance of taking threats seriously and ensuring that individuals who exhibit such alarming behavior get the help they need before it's too late. In the end, the story of Elliot Roger is one of tragic loss and senseless violence. It's a story that makes you think about the importance of mental health resources, the dangers of unchecked entitlement, and the catastrophic impact of one individual's rage. Now the next story I have is deeply unsettling. It's the story of Nathaniel Barjona. This case highlights some of the deepest, darkest aspects of human behavior and the tragic consequences of a system that failed to protect the most vulnerable. Nathaniel Barjona was born in David Paul Brown in 1957 in Worcester, Massachusetts. From a young age, he exhibited troubling behavior. He was obsessed with kidnapping and hurting other children, and this dark fascination only grew stronger over time. Barjona's first known criminal act occurred when he was just 7 years old. He lured a 5-year-old neighbor into his basement where he attempted to strangle her. Fortunately, his mother intervened in this time. Despite this early warning sign, his troubling behavior continued unchecked for many years. In 1977, Barjona, then 20 years old, dressed as a police officer and abducted 2 boys in separate incidents, both of whom he brutally assaulted. He was eventually caught and sentenced to 18 to 20 years in prison for attempted murder. But incredibly, he was released on parole after serving just 10 years. This is one of the many infuriating failures of a system that allowed him to continue his predatory behavior. After his release, Barjona moved to Montana, where he changed his name to Nathaniel Benjamin Levi Barjona, allegedly to honor his Jewish heritage. However, changing his name did not change his behavior. He continued to prey on children, and his crimes became even more horrifying. In 1999, Barjona was arrested again, this time on charges of impersonating a police officer, which led to a search of his home. What authorities found was beyond shocking. They discovered disturbing journals detailing his fantasies about abducting, torturing, and consuming children. Yes, you heard that right. There was evidence suggesting that Barjona might have actually carried out these horrific acts. One of the most tragic aspects of this case is the disappearance of Zachary Ramsey, a 10-year-old boy who went missing in 1996. While Bar Jonah was never officially charged with Zachary's murder due to a lack of concrete evidence, many believe he was responsible. During the search of Bar Jonah's home, authorities found human bones, hair, and a list of names, including Zachary's, but the evidence was deemed insufficient for a murder conviction. Nathaniel Bar Jonah was ultimately convicted of kidnapping, aggravated assault, and sexual assault in 2002, and he was sentenced to 130 years in prison. He died in prison in 2008, taking many of his dark secrets to the grave. What's particularly infuriating about Bar Jonah's story is how many opportunities there were to stop him, but the system repeatedly failed to do so. His early warning signs were ignored, his parole was granted despite clear evidence of his danger, and the investigation into his later crimes were plagued by procedural issues. Bar Jonah's actions were nothing short of monstrous. The fact that he was able to continue his predatory behavior for so long is a tragic failure that cost innocent lives. It's hard to wrap your head around how someone could be so depraved and how the system could let this happen. This case is a chilling reminder of the importance of taking early warning signs seriously and the need for a justice system that prioritizes protection of vulnerable individuals. It's also a stark example of the profound evil that some individuals are capable of and the devastating impact that they can have on our communities. This next disturbing case involves one of the most notorious figures in the hidden corners of the internet, Eric Eoin Marquez. This story highlights the dangers of the dark web and the horrifying activities that can take place behind the reach of regular law enforcement. Eric Eoin Marquez was born in New York but spent much of his life in Ireland. He was known as a quiet, unassuming individual, which makes his eventual arrest and the charges against him all the more shocking. Marquez is infamously known as the darkest internet predator, a title given to him by the FBI due to his activities on the dark web. In 2013, Marquez was arrested in Dublin by Irish authorities acting on a request from the FBI. He was accused of being the administrator of Freedom Hosting, one of the largest hosting services for the websites on the dark web. What makes this case so horrifying is that Freedom Hosting was a hub for some of the worst kinds of illegal activities, including child exploitation material. The FBI described Marquez as the largest facilitator of child exploitation on the planet. This statement alone sends chills down the spine. Through Freedom Hosting, Marquez allegedly provided a platform where pedophiles could share and distribute their heinous content anonymously. The scale of the operation was massive, with thousands of users accessing these sites globally. Particularly disturbing about Marquez's operation is that he managed to stay under the radar for so long. The dark web is notoriously difficult to police due to its encrypted and anonymous nature, which allows such horrifying activities to thrive. Marquez was about to create an online haven for some of the most depraved individuals, making it incredibly challenging for law enforcement to track them down. Upon his arrest, Marquez faced multiple charges, including conspiring to advertise child exploitation material and conspiring to distribute and receive it. The evidence against him was overwhelming. His arrest was a significant victory for law enforcement agencies combating online child exploitation. After a lengthy legal battle, Marquez was extradited to the United States to face trial. This was a crucial step in ensuring that he would be held accountable for his actions on a global stage. His extradition was a complex process due to the severity of the charges and the international implications of his activities. Marquez eventually pleaded guilty to conspiring to advertise child exploitation material, a crime that could lead to a sentence up to 30 years in prison. His case is a stark reminder of the dark side of the internet and the importance of vigilance and robust law enforcement to protect vulnerable individuals. Now I have to say, Eric Eoin Marquez is a prime example of deeply twisted individual who uses technical skills for pure evil. It's infuriating to see how someone could create a platform that enabled such horrific crimes. His actions were nothing short of monstrous, and he absolutely deserves to face the full consequences of his deeds. This case also brings to light the importance of international cooperation in fighting cybercrime. Marquez's arrest and extradition show that even those hiding in the deepest corners of the internet can be brought to justice. In the end, the story of Eric Eoin Marquez is a disturbing glimpse into the dark web and the horrifying activities that can occur there. It's a story that makes you think about the importance of cybersecurity, law enforcement, and the need for continued vigilance to protect the most vulnerable among us. Thank you for watching, Boos. I hope this video was informative and gave you a deeper understanding of these chilling cases. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Stay safe and stay aware of all the signs that someone might need help. Until next time, Boos.